him.
Go away.
It's him.
Go away.
It's him.
Hey y'all, how's everyone doing today? Now, not to be a hater, but if you're Ben Affleck, you've been caught out on a date with J-Lo, and let me tell you, things are getting real messy. And guess what? Jennifer Garner is taking a break from her man. Y'all, Big Ben Affleck is a menace. Something is seriously off with that guy. I don't know how he keeps pulling these women, but he's got them wrapped around his finger, playing them from every angle. And if you don't know, girls, the streets are buzzing that J-Lo feels straight up betrayed by Jennifer Garner. Why? Because she thinks Jennifer Garner sabotaged her relationship with Ben. J-Lo, honey, this woman wasn't your fan 20 years ago, and you really think she's had a change of heart? She is not your friend. But let's be real. The closer Jennifer Garner gets to Ben, the more he can't stand J-Lo. Word on the street is J-Lo basically said Ben's got that dark-hearted narcissist vibe going on. I think he's just playing both of them off each other to cover up his new fling, with a Kennedy no less. Now, I know in my last video I was like, Kip Kennedy's too old, that can't be her. But hold up. Turns out Kip Kennedy is also this girl's mom. Yup, the same Kip Kennedy that J-Lo's people said Ben was spotted with at a super exclusive Beverly Hills polo club. And when I say exclusive, I mean it's as mixy as it gets. Martinis, parties, the whole political insider scene. And y'all, this girl, she's a dead ringer for Jennifer Garner. Seriously, if you didn't know any better, you'd think she was Jennifer Garner's twin.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are set to file for a divorce after weeks of split rumours. Sadly, the pair won't be getting one of J-Lo's rom-com fairy tale endings, as they are reportedly said to be pushing ahead with a divorce after a final attempt at reconciliation failed. The pair have not been seen together for weeks, and Ben was even a no-show at Jennifer's Bridgerton-themed party for her 55th birthday.
But here's the real tea. Why does this all make sense? Well, dive into the gossip archives, and you'll see that when Ben was with J-Lo back in the day, one of the reasons he dumped her for Jennifer Garner was because he had political ambitions. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, he's a hot mess. But trust me, there's more to this story. You know what, girls? Ben thought dating Jen Garner would give him that serious political vibe he's so desperate for. The man has a deep insecurity about being taken seriously, and Jennifer Garner seemed like the perfect fit for his political ambitions. I mean, doesn't she just look like the classic Boston politician's wife? The way she acts, the whole vibe, it's all very vote for my husband, don't you think? But here's the kicker. Word on the street is that Jennifer Garner might not be as sweet as she seems. Sure, she's got that I made you some granola energy, which is great for a politician's wife, but behind the scenes, maybe not so much. And here's where it gets juicy. Ben hasn't ditched his political dreams, and now he's dating a Kennedy. Yup, you heard that right. He's from Boston, and dating a Kennedy in Boston, that's like winning the political lottery. Anywhere else, it's a big deal. But in Boston, it's next level. Page 6 even dished that Ben's been talking about J-Lo, saying this whole wedding and sobriety thing is tough, but honey, he's out there at the Beverly Hills Polo Lounge, a spot as mixy and boozy as it gets. It's the go-to place for the elite political and actor circles. But let's not forget, just because you're a politician doesn't mean you're all holy and pure. They've got their wild side too, just like the rest of us. So where does that leave things now? You know what, girls? Not to be a hater, but have you heard the latest tea on Ben Affleck? People are out here saying that Ben literally played Jennifer Garner and J-Lo against each other like pawns in some twisted game. He supposedly wrecked Jen Garner's relationship just to use her as a pawn to get at J-Lo. Can you even believe that? And while these two women were left scrambling, Ben was allegedly sneaking off to his own secret rendezvous. And if you're wondering where all this is coming from, let me spill the receipts. In Touch Weekly, honey, yes, the one and only Catherine Shaw reported all of this. They're saying that Jen Garner and John Miller are on a break, and it's all because of the mess with Ben and J-Lo's drama. Jen was juggling so much with Ben that it eventually took a toll on her relationship, and now she's single again. And let me tell you, it wasn't her choice to end things. Now, here's where it gets even juicier. Ben Affleck and J-Lo? A total mess. I mean, J-Lo is no saint. We all know she's got her issues. But Ben, he's like a little demon in disguise. He literally broke up her engagement just so he could have her play the role of his mommy. Ugh, the audacity. And poor Jen Garner got dragged into this circus, playing referee between Ben and J-Lo, only to have her own relationship fall apart. And for what? So Ben could be off at the polo club with some Jen Garner look-alike who's got political power. There's something seriously wrong with Ben Affleck, and at this point, we can't even blame J-Lo anymore. Not to be a hater, but have you seen this mess? Let's not forget, they decided to go public with this little date, if you can even call it that. Maybe it was just a business lunch, right? I mean, who knows? But here's the tea. You're out in the open, having a cozy meal with another woman who's definitely not your wife, right after J-Lo filed for divorce. And let's be real, Ben always makes sure he's got a backup plan before he jumps ship. Poor Jen Garner, though. She lost her man and she didn't even get a say in it. Imagine thinking someone's such a mess that you'd blow up your own life just to keep them from spiraling into rehab. Like, she cared more about his sobriety and him being there for the kids than Ben even cared about himself. It's wild.
At least we now know why Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck haven't filed for divorce yet. It's because they're not speaking. He doesn't want to embarrass her by forcing her to go through another failed romance. Interesting. Romantic or delusional? Perhaps a bit of both. So protective that he snuck into their house to take all his shit while she was on vacation, while also not speaking to her? Insiders told TMZ that the singer and the actor have not hired divorce lawyers and instead have their business managers hashing out the details of the divorce. Well, they might want to hire some, because all of this is what's embarrassing.
And listen to this. Word on the street is that Ben's been running to JG for advice and support, and it's driving John up the wall. He's not exactly thrilled about having to compete with her ex-husband for attention. I bet the final straw for J-Lo and John was when they all took that family trip to Japan, and guess who wasn't invited? Yep, J-Lo and John. It was just Ben, Jen Garner, and Jen playing the role of mommy/sober coach. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she still carries a torch for Ben Affleck. You know what I'm saying? But here's the kicker. Ben practically turned Jen into his personal therapist as soon as things started going south with J-Lo. Whenever he hit a rough patch, she was the one he ran to. And after he left J-Lo, it got even worse. He was so needy, one crisis after another, and Jen was always there for him, no matter what. But guess what? John's finally had enough. Some insiders are even saying that the real reason Jennifer and John split is because of Ben. Even though Jen's been pretty easy on Ben, she's starting to admit, privately, of course, that he's been taking up way too much of her time, especially with all the co-parenting drama. If you don't know, girls, now you know. But have you heard what Jennifer's been saying? She's not even thinking about getting back with Ben, and it's got nothing to do with JY having feelings for him. She's not holding some secret flame for Ben. It's all about what's best for her kids. Jen is the kind of mom who always puts her kids first, no question about it. But girl, let's be real. Ben's got Jen Garner wrapped around his finger just like he did J-Lo. It's like, Jen, you do know that if Ben doesn't care enough about his sobriety or how it's affecting his kids to stay sober, there's nothing you can do, right? No amount of babysitting, therapy, or counseling is going to fix that. Ben's got to own up to his mess. You know what, girls? Ben Affleck is out here acting like a straight-up demon. He's got every woman in his life twisted up, and now he's got a new one on the hook. Maybe it was just a business lunch, but come on, something's off. And get this, JY's second shot at love? Ruined. But instead of blaming Ben, she's taking full responsibility for her life, even though her friends aren't as forgiving. Jen's inner circle really likes John and hopes they can work things out. But seriously, how much can one woman take? Let me tell you, Jennifer Garner is so accountable for her life that she's practically taking on Ben Affleck's accountability too. It's like Ben is always playing the victim, but this time, it feels downright diabolical. He used Jen Garner, like, I can't even get over it. Let's break it down because it's about to be a heavy tea spill day. Ben used Jen Garner to be his mommy, to break things off with J-Lo, and to run interference. He soaked up all her time and energy to the point where it messed up her own engagement. And why? Not because he wants Jen back, but because he doesn't want his mommy / whatever she is to be in a relationship where he's not the center of attention. It's giving major narcissist vibes. And while all this is happening, he's secretly dating someone else. Then, right after J-Lo files for divorce, he debuts this new relationship at a boozy lunch spot, which totally proves everything he said about leaving Jennifer was all lies. From the start, we knew the truth. J-Lo was Ben's backup plan. Sorry, but it's clear as day now. Ben is J-Lo's true love, but for Ben, J-Lo is just an option. Nothing's changed. He humiliated her just like he did in 2002, and now he's off with a Kennedy's daughter. It's like history repeating itself, and it's tragic.
At least we now know why Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck haven't filed for divorce yet. It's because they're not speaking. He doesn't want to embarrass her.
So girls, don't be a stranger. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for our next video. You won't want to miss it. Trust me, it's going to be a wild ride.